Hi friends! This is Em of Plan with Em, and we are back for another video. Today we are going to be setting up my May bullet journal. So here I'm using washi from Maragonasuli Art, as well as Notebook Therapy, a mild liner in this sort of pale pastel pink color, the mauve pearl Archer and Olive calligraph, my classic Pentel, and these gorgeous cherry blossom stickers from Caitlin Plans. As you know, my book journal is almost exclusively Caitlin Plans stickers for my monthly setups. So we're just going in and lettering a quote, no big deal. But so far, it is April 25th as I'm recording this. I have read 25 books in April. So I've sort of gotten it down to a science where if I read 25 books a month, then I'll hit my goal of reading 300 books this year. And so far, I think I'm at 112 maybe for the entire year, which is great because that means I'm ahead of schedule. So that, like, if I have some time where, you know, I'm not enjoying the book that I'm reading and it's taking a while, or I keep DNFing things, that I can actually rest a little bit easy. So we're going to talk about April. In terms of the TBR that I set for myself last month, which was 10 titles, I read all of them. And that has not happened for a very long time. Now, part of that is sometimes that I'll set my TBR, right? I set it up in the last week of April. Sometimes I read a few of those books and I get a little bit of a head start, okay? But I think that's totally fine because, like, I like to read what I want to read. I'm a huge mood reader. So of those that were on my TBR last month, A Flicker in the Dark was freaking phenomenal. If you want a thriller that is like, it feels like a true crime, sort of serial killer stuff, that if that's your jam, that's where you should go. I also really loved If I See You Again Tomorrow by Robbie Couch, which, it's a time loop YA novel, and there were so many of these in the last year or so that I can think of, but it does have original elements to it that I really enjoyed, as well as, just sort of the classic references to Groundhog's Day. So I started my month off really, really strong with a lot of 5-star reads. I really enjoyed Long Way Home by Melissa Grace, which is the third in her Midnight in Dallas series. Murder Your Employer, which it's such a weird title. I mean, it makes sense for the book, but, still. Also here, I'm trying to make the sort of lettering look like it's blowing in the breeze like cherry blossoms. Let me know if you think it was successful or if it just looks weird. Also on my sort of great start to the month were If I See You Again Tomorrow and Flicker in the Dark that I already mentioned, as well as Crying in H Mart, which is just a heartbreaking memoir. It's really sad. But then I kind of just, I don't know, I feel like recently I've been in a slump of 3 and 4 star reads where it's fine, but there's nothing super duper special about it, I guess. Except for Feels Like Home, also by Melissa Grace, which is the 4th book in her Midnight in Dallas series that I got an arc of. Oh my god, it's so good! I'm so excited. We're chatting with her in Joyful Chaos on May 3rd, if you want to join. All of the books that are currently released are available on Kindle Unlimited, which is honestly just a great way to support indie authors. And I got a subscription this year and have read so many more indie books than I think I've ever done in previous years. These branches, by the way, are, I would say, possibly my favorite part, just getting to add them sort of coming off the side and layering them on top of things. I really enjoy it. In terms of purchase tracking, I've been doing fucking great at that. This last month, I bought 2 books. I only bought 2. Now, I try, I can be a little extra about that because, like, oh shit, actually, I bought 2 more that I forgot about. So I bought the 2nd and 3rd books in the Melissa Grace series, which I need to add to my purchase tracker. So remind me to do that. So I've only bought 4 books, but they are all books that I really, really enjoy. And, I'm trying to cut back on purchasing, especially when, like, the other day we were at the dealership getting my car, like, souped up. Had to drop $700 on that. Just not fun. Not fun at all. But I will say independent bookstore day is coming up, and that is like the best day to buy books, honestly, because you, generally speaking, will also get a LibroFM credit for a select audiobook. And I know in previous years from that, I've gotten Plain Bad Heroines, as well as Amari and the Night Brothers, but which are like 2 dramatically different books. But, they are really still very enjoyable. In terms of my NetGalley tracker, let's just start with this. First of all, I have an 88% ratio on NetGalley still. Yes, I do have 50 books that I need to read and review, though. Only one of them is overdue, and I still have like 7 to 9 left to review for May, which is terrifying. And I think I'm just like off to the side counting this. So far for the month, I have reviewed 12 books for NetGalley. And let's see, let's do some math here. And I've been approved for 18, so that's a net +6 in the books department. Now, to be fair, I have been approved for some pretty amazing books. So some ones that I'm really excited for, let's see, are A Perfect Vintage by Chelsea Fagan, I think. She created The Financial Diet on YouTube, and I think that's freaking awesome. As well as Better Hate Than Never by Chloe Liza. Can't wait. Loved the first one. Very excited for the second one. Got obsessed with her Bergman Brothers series this year. Read all of them. Yeah, as well as I'm Not Done With You Yet by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I love her thrillers because she's just like such a peppy person, and then she writes some really messed up shit. It's awesome. In terms of like what I want to read in May, which I'm realizing actually that I never put my little check boxes in, so I'll have to go back in and add those later. So it's a lot of arcs. All right. And by a lot of, I mean it's 7 arcs and 1 advanced listening copy, because I have the ALC of The True Love Experiment. And it's also, I think 6 out of the 8 are going to be romances or romantic comedies. 1 is a fantasy and 1 is like a mystery or thriller. But it's May, right? May is springtime and fun and warm weather. And when I think of like summer reads, in the summer, I want to be reading like romances and thrillers. And that's it. That's all I want. Fantasy is like my fall and winter game. So I don't have very many fantasies left, if any, after this. It's at least it's gonna be, maybe delve into the sci-fi, because I got approved for the new John Scalzi starter villain. Very excited because it should be really similar to Hench. But I also like that, the books that I'm reading this month are a little bit more diverse than I would say what I usually read, in terms of the LGBT rep and some BIPOC authors. I know also that May is AAPI History Month, Heritage Month, one of those. Which remember that only applies to America, not Canada. But you can expect to see a lot of Asian and Pacific Islander stacks happening. This is just your reminder to read books by those authors year round. You're not going to see me make a stack. I'm not doing it. Because like I said, I try to read diversely year round. All right. Now, let's see some other things about these books that I've got coming up. So, Love Theoretically, Allie Hazelwood. We love her. I think this one is about physics in some way, shape, or form. Much Ado About Nada, I believe, is going to be a Much Ado About Nothing retelling with Nada. And this ties into the Hana Khan universe, I believe. It's by Uzma Jalaluddin. I know absolutely nothing about All the Right Notes except that it's about music, and Forever is the publisher, so obviously I had to grab it. Painted Devils is the sequel to Little Thieves, which I didn't even think it really needed a sequel, but it is kind of fun just to have a standalone book and then in the next book have those characters go on a completely different, crazy, awesome adventure. Then, okay, this might be a hot take, I don't know. So, The True Love Experiment. I have read one Christina Lauren book, and it was Something Wild, or Something Wilder. Something Wilder, probably. Clearly you know how much I was paying attention to it. So, it was okay. I wanted more of the scavenger treasure hunt and less of the angst. I'm hoping, I don't know, I'm in STEM, so like they had the soulmate equation. That one interested me, but I never picked it up. So this will be like my first one that's sort of more in their usual vein. We shall see. Also, this next little bit is a teeny tiny sneak peek. Oh, well, and their series. But of a coming collab that we have coming up. I'm just putting down the stickers so that I use them and don't accidentally lose them. But each month I will be collabing with Jess from Knit Plan Jess to make our monthly stats sheets, because I am awful about remembering to actually do it, and I want to be able to look back and actually see, what books were my favorite from that month, what were my NetGalley statistics like that month. I can tell you this month they're going to be in the toilet. But also be able to break down everything into fun little graphs, because I'm a mathematician and graphs are my love language. But, that's how we do. So if you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. We finally hit 900, y'all. We did it. I'm so proud of us. Let me know what your favorite book in April was, or what you're currently reading. And as always, happy planning.